At 69, I finally feel ready to speak my truth about Barry Williams. For decades, I stayed silent, hiding behind the smiles and scripts of the Brady Bunch. Now I want to tell my story, not as a scandal, but as a life lived with love, loss, and survival. I was 13 when I first stepped onto the Paramount lot in 1969, carrying a small suitcase and a dream. That day I met Barry, 14, tousled hair, eyes bright with mischief. Something clicked instantly. We were cast as Marcia and Greg Brady, and on screen we became America's picture of perfection. Off-screen, I felt a quiet, impossible affection growing between us. By 1972, during the filming of the Hawaii special, that affection became something deeper. Barry played a song he'd written for me and kissed me softly. I was 17, and in that moment I understood love, but also the danger of it. Hollywood demanded that we maintain an illusion. Rumors of our closeness sparked panic at Paramount. The studio forbade us from being alone, from sharing lunches or rides. Love, even innocent, was treated like a threat. We promised secrecy, and the rest of the world never knew. When the Brady Bunch ended in 1974, Barry disappeared from my life. I sank into a world I barely recognized, auditions that never led anywhere, parties full of alcohol and drugs, a downward spiral that eventually landed me in headlines as the fallen Brady. By 1980, my life had become unrecognizable. I was lost, but my mother saved me, dragging me to rehab where I slowly learned to breathe again, to remember who I was beneath the public image. Years later, our paths crossed again during the 1988 reunion. Barry, older now, smiled at me with those same bright eyes. A gentle whisper of, "We made it, Maureen," bridged 20 years of silence. In the following decades, we stayed in touch. He wrote the foreword to my memoir, and together we found a way to honor the past without being trapped by it. Our love never became a marriage, never a public story, but it endured in quiet gestures, letters, and memories. Barry's life moved forward. Broadway, albums, a second marriage, mine too, recovery, a new husband, and a life rebuilt on steady, small joys. Still, the first love lingers. In 2007, when he released the song he wrote in Hawaii, it brought back a flood of memory, not regret, but recognition of what we once had. Even unfinished, it was beautiful, and it shaped who we became. Today, I live quietly in Thousand Oaks, surrounded by lavender and the gentle sound of sparrows. Mornings begin with the aroma of coffee Michael brews, a simple ritual that reminds me I am alive and free from the shadows of the past. I am no longer Marcia Brady, perfect and untouchable. I am Maureen McCormick, a woman who loved, lost, and found herself again. Barry, now 70, keeps the past close in small, private ways. A worn necklace, a photo from 1972, a song that still carries our story. He lives alone, quietly, teaching music and tending roses, honoring a love that never needed to be public to be profound. The world remembers him as Greg Brady, the perfect son. I remember him as Barry, the boy who made my youth worth living. True love, I've learned, doesn't always end with a fairy tale. Sometimes it survives in silence, memory, and the quiet knowledge that a piece of your heart will always belong to someone who made you whole.